Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Be Victorious with Theodora. And let me tell you something. If you are in China, or if you're in Australia, maybe you're in Romania, or maybe you're in Belgium, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know we have guests that are watching from Norway because my amazing guest today, um, the most amazing, victorious person that I know is here with us. And let me bring her on stage, give her the microphone, give her the light and the stage to share her amazing story with us and teach us how is it that we're going to become victorious just like she did. Stay with us, share, and we'll see you in 2 minutes. Good afternoon, evening. What is it?
Night.
Good night. Anna, welcome to Be Victorious. I'm so excited and honored to have you. How are you doing?
I'm good, Theodora. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so excited to be part of it.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited that and honored that you accepted my invitation and you're here with us to share your story. In my opinion, in my world, you are the most victorious person ever. I have a little bit of echo, but I think we're gonna bounce back there. We're good. You can hear me okay?
Mhm. Yes, I can.
So, Anna, how do we know each other?
We met years ago through some mutual friends, and I have to tell you that when I first met you, I just instantly loved you. You were great, and I'm very grateful for our friendship.
It's so amazing that through those friends that just disappeared, we are still able to stay friends and connect after years and
Yep.
just be where we are. Yeah, it's quite amazing the journey of our friendship.
Yes,
It's
it
it's
is.
awesome how we met and how we things turned out. And yeah, it's amazing. Where were you born? Where does the story of Anna begin? Take us back in time where you were a baby.
We're going to go back a long time. No, I was born in Stavanger in Norway, and kind of I grew up in Sandnes, which is right outside of Stavanger, and then kind of went back and forth after my parents divorced. And even though I probably spent most of my childhood in Sandnes, I claim Stavanger because that's where I spent more of my teenage years.
Right. It's no, I have not been to Norway before. It's so beautiful. I
Oh,
know.
yes. Yeah.
Is it so? Do you get to go back? Everybody asks me that when I say I'm from Romania. Do you get to go back to Norway and visit?
Definitely not as much as my family would like me to. The last time I went home was in 2014. And then life happened and it just kind of wasn't a possibility. And we kind of had plans to go in 2020 and then the whole world stopped. So that didn't really work. And now that I run the bakery, I can't really go because if I go there, then we don't have a bakery going and then I can't offer baked goods to people that want it. So right now, I'm hoping it'll be there in the future, but I'm kind of taking it year by year, I guess,
Right.
to kind
We're
of see how
gonna
that goes.
go as we go.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk about the bakery. But first, tell me, how did you come to America? What made you come to America?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. I moved to America originally to go to school, and then I got married. And then when I told my dad that I was getting married, he said, "Well, that's not really surprising because when you were 10 years old, you told me you were going to find an American, move to America, and live there." So I guess it was always in my cards. And after I moved here, it's home to me. One thing that I think people don't realize when they leave one country and go to the other is that no matter what you choose to do going forward, your heart is always split in two. So if I decided to move back to Norway, I would miss America. And if living here, I miss Norway. It's one of those things you don't really think about until you're in that, in the middle of it.
When I go to Romania to see my family, it takes about 2 weeks, and then I'm like, I want to go home.
Yep. Yeah.
And when I'm here, I want to go see my mom.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it. I completely understand. And it's true.
Mhm.
We kind of split, but our heart is always, I think, a little bit where we were born,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Definitely a lot of comfort and peace going back to that. It's almost like a reset. When I do get to go back there, it's like a reset for my whole being. So then when I come back here, I can continue being the best version of me.
Yeah,
So it's time for me to do that again, I guess, because it's been too long now.
you can do it.
Mhm.
You came to not to Colorado though, and you're in Colorado here, right? Like now
Yes.
you're here.
Yep. In Centennial. But
So
I
you
moved to Utah to go to school.
okay?
And then I got married before school started. And then I went to school for a couple of years. And then when 9/11 happened in 2001, I had a 6-month-old. And at that point, I decided that the world was a little too scary to be away from him. And I decided to be a stay-at-home mom. And I did that for about 9 years until we got divorced. And then I moved to Colorado in 2009. I
And
like Colorado a lot. There's a lot about Colorado that's similar to Norway. And there is, I don't know, it's just beautiful here.
it is beautiful.
Yes.
It's home. It's very close. I think the entire Europe and all the hills and the landscape
Mhm.
pretty much is very similar with how Colorado is with mountains and valleys and hills, and so it's home.
Yeah,
So close. That's why we're so close to home here.
agreed. Although I can say I grew up next to the ocean, so I miss the ocean. And weird as it sounds, I miss the rain because we had rain all the time, and it's not the kind of rain you have here. Like I miss that kind of rain, which probably sounds weird, but that's such a rejuvenating thing. And the smell with the rain, it's amazing.
Yes, doesn't rain a lot here. So after you moved to Colorado, what was next? You moved, you the divorce, and then you left. So you left Utah and moved to Colorado. And in Colorado, did you start a job? And
Yeah.
how was life in Colorado as moved here?
So I actually started when I first moved out here. I started as a linguist for a company that did technological translations from English to Norwegian, and I proofread them. And then I went to Walmart and I worked there for a while. And then when IKEA was set to open here, I actually helped set up that store,
Yes.
and which was also like coming home a little bit, because
Yes.
IKEA, I grew up in IKEA, so it was like being home, and that was great. And then I had my youngest son, and then through having my youngest son, I was offered an opportunity to work at an appliance company where I kind of worked my way up over the years, and then kind of took an interest in human resources. Um, and then I've had a couple of jobs in human resources since then, which kind of led into me doing my business. Working with people is something that I really like to do. So then making baked goods and being able to share that with people really falls in line with all of that,
You're a people person.
for sure.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And then COVID happened, right?
Yes, it did.
And so did you lose your job?
I did. So in October of 2019, I had just started a new position that was created specifically for me at a
So
company.
amazing.
Wait, yeah, it was great. And I loved that job and I learned a lot. There was a lot of really good opportunities for me. And then when COVID happened, we started working from home for a while, and then I got furloughed part-time. And in that time when I got furloughed, I just don't do well sitting and doing nothing. It's not, idle mind does not do well for me. So at that time, I thought to myself, you've been here 20 years. Always been looking for somewhere to buy the kind of stuff that you grew up with, baked goods, but you've never been able to find it. And I thought, there's got to be other people out there that are looking for it. And I thought, let's take a chance. We'll try this. And so I started the bakery just kind of part-time from home, cottage food. So I got certified to do it from home. And then we started that in May, and then in June, I was laid off from my job. And so then I really dove into taking care of the bakery, and I started going to farmers markets and kind of really seeing what the market was like. And I did that until April of last year, and then we decided that it was time to see if it would be possible to actually open a physical location, because that was really a dream of mine. And then I did a Google search. I found the building. We checked it out, and I thought it was perfect. I know it's kind of a funky setup, but I love, love, love where we're at. It works out great. And so we've just kind of been growing from then, and every month we're growing a little bit more, which is great.
Let's talk about the bakery. This is, and I'm going to take you in a minute after we talk about the bakery. I'm going to take you back because I have a few questions. But let's talk about the bakery. So you went to farmers market,
Mhm.
and you're started at home. How amazing is that? Just you started baking goods and started the bakery in your home kitchen, and you went to farmers market with it. How amazing is that? What gave you the power to move and push through and do it?
You know, probably the biggest part for me was I have a really great partner who really pushes me to believe in myself when I have a tendency not to. And we talked about it for a while. And then one day he said, "So are you just going to talk about it, or are you going to do it?" And the next day I had my business license and I pushed everything through. And that's actually how the whole process has been. When I talk about something I want to do, I keep talking about it. And then he'll say, "Well, are you going to talk about it, or are you going to do it?" And then we end up doing it. So
How amazing is that?
it's great to have someone that actually believes in me, because it makes me believe in me more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. How did you find the location? So you went from the farmers market, it was over the summer, but then they end, and then you knew that you have to have a location. How did you find it?
I Googled, I looked up commercial real estate near me, and it was the first thing that popped up. And it had been vacant for about a year, but they had left it vacant on purpose because with COVID, it was, a lot of restrictions, and a lot of that made it hard for new businesses to kind of get a start. And they listed it, and we had it rented within a month of them listing it.
And you
And
have to start like remodel everything and do
yep,
everything.
we took it over as is, and we walked in there, and I had the vision. I knew exactly what I wanted, and I had an idea of exactly what I wanted to do. And me and Sky did all of our renovations ourselves.
I'm going to post some pictures. I'm going to bring them up on the screen
Okay.
because this is so powerful. And I have those pictures with your permission.
Yes.
This is the before.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how you found the space when you started your bakery?
That's correct. And they used to house a burrito place in there. He unfortunately went out of business when COVID happened. But yeah, so we took it over like that. And I just, like I said, I had an instant vision of what I wanted, and ta-da, there it is. It took time. I mean, we started small. We did the basic stuff. And then like over the last 11 months, we've been adding little things here and there, and really let the space become the space that we want it to be. And I'm really happy with it.
Wow.
It's turned out really great. And a lot of people point out when they come in that they just feel like they stepped into a Scandinavian bakery, and that just is exactly what we were going for. So whatever we did, it worked.
And there's tables where they can enjoy the bakery, and then you have also what is this area?
Yeah, so we have this little bench here. I actually, in this picture, the books are on here, but we've moved it to another location, so there's a little bit more seating. But we have, I have customers and friends that bring in Norwegian books that people are welcome to come and check out, and they can read them there. They can take them home with them. They can bring them back when they're done, or they can keep them. It's really up to them. But it's fun because a lot of people that maybe had grandparents years ago that spoke Norwegian are able to kind of check back into that period and have some memories come back, because they're able to read some of that stuff and maybe recognize some of the words and all of that stuff.
Wow, your community is probably so grateful to have you.
Yeah, people drive from very far away. I have people that drive from Steamboat fairly often and from Wyoming, which
Wow.
is really cool. So when they come, they get to take whatever they want because the goal is for us to really build a community friendly place where people want to come and hang out.
You're right, Scott. That is very nice. I mean, I've been in your bakery, and what you did there is when you enter, you feel like home because it has that family owned feeling of a business. And
Mhm.
it's so obvious that your heart is there. And what you do is just, and I was, let's talk about, I know this is unplanned and unprepared, but somebody posted um, a review on Nextdoor, right?
Yep,
And
they
then
did.
I came the next day, or it was that morning, I came to talk to you and see you, and everything was empty. So
Yep.
tell me about that.
Yeah, we had this really amazing lady. Her name is Dot. She came in on the last Saturday of February and she really liked what she saw and she liked what she ate. And she said to herself, I've never written a post like this before, but I'm going to do it. And it just went viral and it literally blew up and was life changing for us. It's been amazing. And people are still coming in from that post. And then that post triggered other posts. And then word of mouth, it's just kind of spreading like wildfire, which has been pretty amazing. I
Because
don't take any of it lightly. I'm very grateful because in the last couple of years, a lot of people have lost a lot.
watch.
And we've been able to build something that is not just benefiting us, but benefiting our community. And I think that's really incredible that we get to share that with other people.
It's amazing. People can find you. So if we want to reach you, is this where we go to find information about your bakery? Is this correct?
Yes, annasnorwegianbakery.com. You can also find me on Instagram and on Facebook under the handle Norwegian Bakery with an I. And it's bakery with an I because that's how you spell bakery in Norway. So it's kind of a play on words.
That's awesome. This is, and the address is there. Where is the bakery again?
It's in Centennial. The address is 6770 South Yosemite Street in Centennial, basically the corner of Arapahoe Road and Yosemite Street.
But
And the most important thing to say, because people every day, people come in and say, you're really hard to find. We are located inside the exact same building that has a Brakes Plus and a Fast Tracks. So if you find that building and go into that building, you'll walk right into our bakery.
it's so amazing that the bakery is in the waiting room
Yep.
of a Brakes Plus, of a car shop.
Yeah. And it's funny because people come in and, they're coming in to have their car looked at and then they're sitting there and they'll sit there for maybe an hour and they keep glancing over at the bakery. And then by the time their car is ready, they'll come and get something and they'll always say, oh, I can't stand it anymore. I've been smelling it. It's time to take something home with me, which is awesome.
That is awesome. That's so cool. So I said earlier that I'm going to take you back a little bit. You keep saying when we talk about the bakery, you say we, and you mention Sky. So tell us about the love story behind your partner. I know there's a little bit of a heartache there, and it started your relationship. Tell me how did you find this man, or how did he find you? How how was that?
Well, we actually met at the job that I had when I was doing appliances. I actually helped interview him to get the job there, and then we became friends. And he ended up going through a pretty interesting divorce on his side, and so I was trying to be supportive, and then we became really good friends. And he is just genuinely one of the nicest men that I've ever known. And I'm really grateful that we have the relationship that we have. I mean, we've been through some stuff, but everything has made us stronger. And I wouldn't be where I am without him for sure.
You're so amazing, so victorious. Scott has a question for you. Do you make everything yourself, or do you have others helping you in the bakery?
Right now, I make everything myself. So I get up at about, it depends on the day. Tomorrow I'm getting up at 1:30, but I get up anywhere between 1:30 and 2:30 to make sure that I can have fresh product every day. And then we open at 8, and by 8 o'clock, everything is up and ready to go.
Wow. And I'm going to post this picture again. I think maybe a close up. So this is a picture of everything you have to offer. And if we go from left to right here, we have pastries. I know there's bread and oh my God, look at this. I mean, oh my God, my mouth is like, I want that.
That happens to me every day. I eat either a cinnamon roll or a school roll or a raisin cardamom roll every day because I have to test it out, you know?
Scott, what do you think about this? We should so I know you're also doing sandwiches and you
Yep.
deliver.
Yeah. So
Is that a new?
we've contracted with DoorDash and Chow Now and Grubhub, and so you can place delivery for anything that we have in the store, and it'll come to you. And we started our sandwiches about 2 months ago, and we have either a chicken salad or ham and turkey with cheese and all the good stuff.
Wow.
And then we have 3 different rolls that you can choose to make the sandwiches of. And then we have 6 different breads that we have fresh every day, 4 cakes, and then all the pastries.
And you do all this in at night to have everything ready for the morning?
Yes. One of the great thing that, like we were talking about how the bakery kind of blew up, it gave me the opportunity to hire someone to help us. So I actually hired another Anne from Norway who works with us Tuesday through Friday. So when she's there, I'm able to get ready for the next day. So I've actually been able to sleep in a little bit. That's why I can get up at 2:30 now, because I'm able to get ready while she's there.
That's awesome. Scott has another question. How do you find time to sleep? And I'm with you, Scott. Like, when does this woman do all this?
Absolutely.
And on top of everything, you have a son who's 10 and he goes to school. And so you're a mother.
So 2 things. I believe that I'm a strong believer in independence. So I've really taught my son to be independent. So he is good at taking care of himself. That obviously doesn't mean that I'm not there for him, because I am, but I've taught him that it's important to be able to care for himself. So I go to bed when he goes to bed. So I go to bed at 8, and then I usually get about 5 hours of sleep. I can tell you that on Saturdays, I usually catch up on my sleep and get like 10 to 12 hours. That's like my luxury time.
Eric, good evening to you. Yes, I see food too. I'm gonna show this again. Oh my God, this is so amazing.
So the top one with the coconut is called a school roll, and that's like the most traditional, iconic pastry to Norway. I should be fair and say that it is a Scandinavian pastry, but since we're doing Norway and that's where I grew up, I claim it for Norway.
Oh,
But it's a sweet cardamom dough with vanilla custard icing. And then the traditional way is with coconut, but I also offer it without coconut for those people that don't care for coconut.
it's a good thing that you can't see my face because I'm like drooling.
Yeah, that's my son's favorite. So if he had a choice, he would eat one of those every day.
So would I.
Yeah.
I think that would be the most amazing breakfast to have with a cup of milk and just oh yes, I think and the cream inside, is it lemon or
It's vanilla custard that I make at the bakery. And actually, I just announced yesterday that starting next week, people can buy the custard as a standalone item, but it's not on the website. So in order to order it, you have to either call the store to place a pre-order, or you can order it through email.
did you always have this passion for baking?
I've
Because
always loved being in the kitchen. Yes. My dad was a great baker. In fact, my cinnamon roll is kind of a what's the word for that? It's a tribute to him. When I was a little girl, I have two brothers that are a year and a half and 4 years younger than me. And when we were little, he would get up really early. To be fair, I think he just didn't sleep very well. So he would stay up all night, but I thought he got up early, and he would make us cinnamon rolls so we could take one. He would give us a bag of them so we could take them to school and share with our classmates. And so the cinnamon roll is special to me because it reminds me of my dad. And then my mom is a great cook. Her mom is a great baker and cook, and so is my dad's mom. And so I come from a line of women and men that really know how to bake, cook, all of that stuff. And so it's kind of part of me.
Oh my gosh. Scott says, I sure hope that you brought us all some samples. Those are amazing looking. Scott is in Florida, but I have to tell you that when he's going to come visit Colorado, we're going to come to the bakery every morning and shop for everything. And we're going to try every single item that you have in the display, because they all look so good.
Well, thank you. You are so welcome to do that, by the way.
Yes, it's amazing. Yes. My mouth is still watering from pictures. Oh, so good. But I want to talk about, you mentioned your father, and I know that you lost your dad, and I know that there was a victorious moment there that you had to get through. You were in Norway, and there was a tragedy happened. I don't want to bring it up for any other reason, but to talk about you getting through and going over, and being able to get through that. I know it's painful. Is that something that you want to share with us? Is
Sure.
that
Yeah. In fact, it's one of those moments for me where, because I have a certain faith, I believe that everything happens for a reason. And it just so happened that my mom and my stepdad had flown me and my son and my ex-husband out there to spend time with them. And I had been there for about 3 weeks. And then my ex-husband came out, and the day after he came out, we traveled to a place that he had been before to meet some of his friends. And my dad was killed in a car crash that day. And the fact that we were already in Norway and I didn't have to be here and then have to make the journey. I know people that have had to deal with that, and that I can't imagine how difficult that must be. And so having been able to be there and actually spent the time with him that I did was really incredible. My oldest son was just over a year at the time, and he had gotten to spend time with his grandpa, with his morfar, and he was my dad's pride and joy. He loved being a grandpa. He loved being a dad. And so being in that moment, being there, even though I went through a period where I probably didn't focus on that faith that I've had for a while, when I look back, I just know that I was there for a reason,
Yes.
And even though it was challenging, I don't know, I have good memories,
Yes.
He was a good man.
And it was hard, but it taught you so much, and it helped you be the person you are today,
Sure.
compassionate and loving, and just victorious as you are. I mean, your life has been just a perfect example of what victory means when you believe in yourself and you go for your dreams and your goals and you achieve them, because it's who you are.
And at the end of the day, what really matters is that no matter how hard it gets, you got to pick yourself up and keep going, because a new day will always come and it will get better. There's always a rainbow after rain. So
Yes.
it doesn't last forever, even though it feels like it in the moment.
And you love the rain.
Yeah, I do. I do love the rain. We do too. So yes.
Dave has a question. He's coming to Arvada on June 6th. Are there tables, chairs in the Centennial Bakery? that he can absolutely. So Dave, if you go on the website, your address is on the website, and directions and how to find you. And if not, just give us a call and we'll guide you and we'll meet you, and we'll take you there.
And there's seating inside, and there's also some limited seating outside. And we're in the process of getting some big umbrellas for that too, so people can, now that it's starting to be nice outside, people can enjoy the outside while they're eating some awesome baked goods.
The patio is so beautiful, so pretty. Uh, Scott says I like that. A new day will come and it will get better. And you and I both know that.
Mm-hmm. But it takes some tough times to really remember that part, you know?
To be, yes, yes. My goodness, you had some.
But I wouldn't be where I am today if it hadn't been for everything you've been through. You know, people can ask you, if you could go back and change something, would you do that? And first instinct is probably to say, sure, I would. But I wouldn't, because every single thing that I've been through is why I am who I am today, and why I am where I am today. And I think sometimes we forget that it's all part of the journey to make us the best parts of us.
Amen.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you a different version of that question.
Yeah, go for it.
If you were to go back to Anna that was about to leave Norway and come to America, what would you tell her?
I would probably tell her to, that's a great question. I have to think about it for a minute. I think the one thing I would definitely tell her is to not take family, even though they're far away, for granted. And also to keep believing in yourself, even when you think it's hard. Just believe in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself, even just a little bit, there's no stopping you. But you have to have some belief in yourself, or it's just not gonna happen.
You have to jump?
Yep, you do. For sure.
So true. Okay. I have another question.
Okay.
So if you didn't have your partner and you're a single mom, and your best friend is a single mom, and she wants to quit her job, she wants to do more, she believes in herself, she's strong, she's powerful, but she just doesn't know what. She doesn't know how to quit her job, or she wants to do something, or she wants to do more for her child, for herself. How do we help these people that just don't know where to start? You had your partner. He was motivating you, he was pushing you, he's your push. He says, okay, are you going to keep talking about it, or are you just going to do it? But if there's a single mom out there watching us who doesn't have that, it's just her and herself,
I would say that you can do it. I really, really, truly would say that you can do it. The only limitation is the limitation that you put on yourself. And there are so many resources everywhere. I mean, you're a resource, right? I can be a resource. There's resources everywhere where you can ask questions or just take the jump. You just have to take the jump. That's really what it is. And if you put in the hard work, it'll happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I would also probably say, don't listen to the people that say you can't. Because there's always going to be naysayers.
Yes.
And I think you just have to remember that they're wrong.
Did you have any people that told you no?
No, not really. But I didn't have a whole lot to lose either, because I was in between jobs. But I listened to a podcast at one point that said that if you're in between, if you're in limbo, you're not going to push yourself. So you have to let go of what is safe in order to push yourself to make it happen. Because if not, that safety is always going to hold you back.
Say that louder for everybody in the back to hear.
But
It's
but
so
it's true. It is true. And I mean, I felt that too, because when you're walking away from a, you walk away from a 9 to 5 that is a guaranteed income. That's scary. But when you have that, you don't really have the drive to push yourself to make it happen, because you have that security. And in order to make it happen, you almost have to take away the security blanket so you can just do it. And honestly, if you fail, who cares? You tried, you learned, then you do something else.
yes. And if you fail, you learn.
Yeah.
You learn so much by trying and by doing. That's the only way to learn, by doing it.
Yeah. One of my favorite sayings of all time, and I say it to a lot of people. My kids have heard me say it for years. Is in Batman Begins, when Bruce falls down the well. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but he falls down the well. And when he gets picked up, Alfred asks him and he says, "Bruce, why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up." And I've always thought that that's what matters. It's not so much the fall that matters, it's what you decide to do with the knowledge you learned from that. It can
Yes,
be hard to remember, but I really try to live by that, because we're not going to get anywhere if we don't take a chance. And part of succeeding is failing.
I want to hug you. You're so right. You never fail unless you give up. You either win or you train.
Yes.
And
Yep.
you know how I look at failure, and we don't we don't really fail. We learn. I think everything that we go through is a learning experience. I failed a really important test, and I was so upset. And I failed not once but twice, and I was so upset and so mad at myself. And then I realized that when we're down, I always like to think about a spring that you pull it back,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you let go, it just shoots even higher.
Yep.
That's how I look at everything. And when my divorce happened, my sister told me something that stayed with me forever. Every 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 kick in the butt is a faster move forward,
It's true.
and it's so true.
Yep.
Anthony says, "Super glad I tuned in. I love it." Well, we love you too, Anthony, and I want to thank you for being here and for sharing our story, so that we can help inspire and motivate other people to do the same as Anna did, because she's victorious and so amazing in the world. And I know that what you do for your community of people coming from Norway is changing lives. It truly is, because those people would not come from Wyoming all the way to Centennial. How long is that drive? Like 3 hours,
Yeah.
4 hours?
Roughly.
At least 4
Mhm.
hours. Because not only do they have to cross the border and come to Denver, they have to cross Denver too.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
so it's amazing. And they're coming because of who you are and what you do, and you bring home to them.
Well, I bring home to me. I mean, this is almost more, it gives me more, I feel, than it gives other people, because I just, I love that community, and I love that we're able to build something. And my favorite part right now is that, we have all these Norwegians that are coming in. There's great Swedish people and Danish people and Finnish people and all kinds of Europeans, because between you and me, don't tell anyone, but America doesn't know how to make baked goods. It's too much sugar, too many preservatives, and it's just not it. And we've found something to kind of bond over, and now that we're getting more and more and more Americans in, because they're learning that the secret is out, and that's the truth. I almost feel bad saying it, but it's true. I mean, you go to there are several bakeries around here that are national chains that aren't actually freshly baked bakeries every day, and that kind of defeats the purpose of being a bakery.
Yes, I know, you know how I worked in a grocery store
Hmm.
for many, many years. And the bakery was one of the places where I got to help and be there. And you're right, everything comes frozen in a box.
Yeah.
Not much, nothing is being baked. It's almost like being like heated.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But then I don't know that it's part of the culture here. And we've kind of forgotten what good food is supposed to taste like.
So all the recipes that you have for your products are original. Are they like your family recipes and recipes that are originally from Norway? Everything is original Norway, correct?
85% of it. The lemon cake and the orange cake, they're more American than they are Norwegian. But now I have family in Norway that make those, so we're making those Norwegian for sure. But most of my recipes are family recipes. My two most special and dear to me are the apple cake, because that is the recipe that my grandma has used my whole life and my mom's whole life, and like that's what we grew up with. And so when I make that and I eat it, then it just makes me think of her. And then my coffee cake, the coffee cake is called a coffee cake simply because there's coffee in the icing, and the Norwegian name does not translate very well. um, but that cake was taught to be by my great aunt when I was 13, and she was roughly 85. And she passed away when she was 103. Incredible woman. There is a story we could talk about sometime. She was amazing. And so those two recipes are very dear to me because they represent really strong people. And then I get to share it with people here, and I feel like I get to pass on some of that strength to them.
Wow. I knew you're victorious from the moment I met you at that bar.
Well, same to you for sure.
And I honestly say that because of the circumstances. Only a victorious person, only a victorious Anna could have sat there and
Yep.
and be that.
Hmm.
You're amazing. You're so amazing. I have one. I don't want to keep you too much longer, and I don't want to keep our audience too much longer. But I have so many more questions, and I'm sure that we're gonna do this again. We gotta follow up because I believe that you're gonna open another bakery.
Well, I have goals, and I already know where I want to open it. So
Can it be up north here, closer to me?
it's probably not going to be in this state.
Okay.
I have plans. I definitely have plans and ideas because I think there is something that really can be done there to share with other people.
Yes, I agree. Um, so let me ask you this: when you're victorious and you've learned from the women in your life and from your father and from the family, I think your family value is so strong and it was implemented in who you are and you're such a caring mother and you love your sons and so um who's taking over your victorious attitude? Your son is being amazingly independent and is anybody in your family that's going to continue your passion for baking?
Well, so I'm fortunate enough that Sky has two daughters, and his youngest daughter works with me at the bakery on Saturdays. And I've been able to teach her some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And even though she's on a different path, that's something we share. And that is pretty special to me. It's special because I never thought I wanted daughters because I didn't want to raise myself because I know what I was like, you know?
What?
But I inherited them as teenagers, and they're great. And I didn't know what I was missing. You know, my boys are amazing, and I would not change that for the world. They're the greatest gifts I've ever been given. But how blessed am I to get two bonus daughters that I get to help and show and hopefully inspire. they inspire me and their kids. So hopefully it kind of goes both ways.
Wow. Yes. Oh, you're so amazing. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so honored um, to be able to share, like bring your story out to the world because really, truly, obviously, you just shared with us everything that you went through in your life and coming as an immigrant and starting, living life and going through hardship and losing your job and starting this business and now being successful and not stopping there and really amazing going to break the glass ceilings and not stop and just you're so victorious. I'm so honored to have had you as my guest and I'm so grateful. Anna, you're an inspiration and you are amazing.
Well, thank you. And just know that I feel the same.
I just yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Ah, Scott, you're right. Yes, we absolutely amazing. I what? Okay, I keep coming up with questions. I can't let you
Ask away. Ask away.
I can't let you go. What is stopping people from doing what you did to grow, to move forward in life, to achieve their goals and dreams? What do you think is stopping them?
I think it's a mindset. I think that unfortunately we live in a world where we're not inspired to be the best that we can be and believe in ourselves. We are um, almost taught that you're taught that you need to go to college and then work for someone else. You're not actually taught that you can work for yourself. And that's something that's missing. People forgot that this entire country was built on people that made their own futures, their own businesses. That was everything that this whole country was founded on. And we need to find back to that so we can build it back great again,
Yeah.
I think. It truly is a mindset. The only limitation that you have is the limitation you put on yourself.
Ah, ah, yes. Oh, let's see that again.
But it's true. The only limitation you have is the limitation you put on yourself.
Let's not put limits and let's learn from Anna and from everybody that does that. You have family members.
I do. That's my uncle. Hi.
So glad to have you here. Belgium is a beautiful country too. Oh my gosh, Anna, I'm going to let this settle in longer for everybody that will stay with us forever as the lesson that we're learning from you because you are teaching us today not to put a limitation on ourselves just the way you did not and just the way you grow. We're learning from you to keep growing, keep going, and eliminate the limitations just like you did. You're absolutely amazing. I want to show the pictures again. This is Anna's Norwegian Bakery. And Anna is baking everything that we see in this picture daily by herself, starting at 2 o'clock in the morning to open the door by 8 and welcome her clients, her community, her friends, her American family every day with fresh baked goods.
Mhm. And once you smell it, you have to eat it.
You are beyond victorious.
Thank you.
You are an angel to the world, and what you do is so admirable. Hands down, heads down, you're amazing. I
Thank
love
you.
you.
Thank
I
you.
love that I got to have you. If there's anything you wanna close our live with, and then we'll chat a little bit in the back.
I really truly just want people to know that if you want to do it, do it. Failure doesn't matter because that's where your strength will come from. And you truly can't be great if you don't fail. That's just how it is. No matter how big or small it is, it's what you it's what you make of it. So believe in yourself.
And just do it.
Yes, just do it.
I love everything about you. And I can't wait to come to the bakery. Tomorrow morning is Saturday. Next
We have a
time.
special tomorrow, actually. We're celebrating the Norwegian Independence Day is on Tuesday, so
Oh,
we're celebrating tomorrow with Norwegian waffles and a raffle and a discount. So it's going to be a great day.
I will make it in. Scott says, I hope to meet you at the bakery one day. Well, it better be soon, Scott, because if Anna's moving to another state, I mean, we have to go to another state to meet you. To meet you. Anna, thank you so much. You've
Thank
been
you.
amazing. Everybody, go follow Anna on social media. You're on Facebook. You have the bakery page on Facebook and your personal page.
Mhm.
And Anna's NorwegianBakery.com is your website where we can see more pictures and drool a little more and really make it to the bakery and just try one of everything because you're just irresistible to not try.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Please share this. And if you're in Denver, you got to make it down to Centennial and try this. This is life changing, and you will never go to another bakery. I promise. I won't. We'll see you next time. Anna, thank you so much for being here with me tonight and for sharing your amazing story and for helping other people be victorious just like you are. And we'll see you at the bakery.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.